Hello everyone, we all remember that moment when Rock Lee dropped his weights during his fight with Gaara.
少しくらいの重りを外したところで、ガーラの砂についていけるわけが。
The heat of his weights was so strong that they left holes and buried themselves in the ground. So I just can't imagine what Lee went through in his training. If we, mere mortals, could even attain even a fraction of that strength, our ideas about martial arts would change very quickly. Naruto trained just as hard and diligently to become stronger, but even his bravest and hardest training does not reach Rock Lee's level. Today we will try to understand and calculate the weight of those very weights and dive fully into his toughest workouts. Knowing Guy Sensei, he would say, anyone can lift a ton, but my Lee can lift 2 tons. Have you ever wondered why Lee didn't take his weights off during the fight against Kimimaro? I know he was drunk, but he could have kicked Kimimaro or just thrown one of the weights in his direction to defeat him. Just like in the Lotus technique, he is not allowed to remove his weights, unless the situation is related to protecting the lives of his loved ones. In addition, the weights are part of his training, and only Guy Sensei can tell when Lee can remove them. By the way, there are characters on his weights. They are read as Konjo, which means courage, truly stamina and willpower. Although in Naruto manga no one has ever talked about the true weight of his weights. We can see for ourselves that there are 7 weights on each strap, and if we take the densest and heaviest materials and consider the power of gravity, I would say that each weight is about 45 to 70 kilograms. That works out to about 315 to 490 kilos per leg, or 630 to 980 kilos in total on both legs. So it is about a ton of total weight. I think the real weight is a lot bigger than what I have just roughly calculated for you. In other fights, Lee drops weights from a standing height, and they still make decent impact holes, burying themselves under concrete. All items follow terminal velocity, so the weight has to be much more than a ton to overcome air resistance and gain enough speed to do that kind of damage which Lee does from a few dozen meters away. Height really does matter, but the way Lee's weight behaves suggests that they are very heavy indeed, and probably weigh much more than a ton. Gosh, that's really impressive. Even Kakashi himself was, to put it mildly, shocked by the way Guy trains his apprentice. Let's ask the opinion of those who are good at math. The last mathematician who tried to calculate the weight of these weights said that each load weighs 4,600 kilograms. How did he calculate all that? He used the height, which was measured as 16 meters, and he didn't use the free fall time, because it is impossible to tell if the fall was drastically slowed down in the footage. Nevertheless, the free fall time will be calculated for 15 meters. 1 meter should be subtracted because he assumed that the waves fell from the wrist level and not the head level. He also ignored the dust clouds because we have to take air resistance into consideration, which makes it very difficult. Also, the total mass of dust is negligible compared to the total mass of concrete fragments, so the mass of dust clouds will be totally ignored. It's also hard to get a sense of depth right. The ejected fragments in the last shot are considered to be the maximum height of the ejected fragments, and they look about the same volume as the person in the foreground, who must be an average adult. The average adult weighs 70 kg, which mostly consists of water and has a volume of 70 liters. Thus, there are 0.7 cubic meters of concrete. All in all, when our mathematician finished these calculations, he got up to 800 kilograms of ejected fragments after the hit. I won't go through all of his calculations and get straight to the point. With all of the assumptions mentioned above and the application of his knowledge of material physics, this gives us 4,600 kilograms per leg. That's much more than a ton on each leg. I hope he's okay, because it turns out that Lee has 2 monster trucks strapped to his feet. Personally, I might add that anime and manga are visual types of storytelling. In each event or scene, the author wants to explain his idea to the reader. And what he wanted to convey to us as viewers is this message. His weights are heavy as hell. And so you have to understand how hard Lee has trained and how much faster he will be after he takes them off. Everyone seems to have forgotten one important detail. In Rock Lee's universe, all people have chakra. Even if Lee or Guy are unable to perform ninjutsu or jinjutsu, they put all of their energy into taijutsu, meaning the chakra is not used to manipulate the elements, but to strengthen their body and martial arts capabilities. They still use the chakra, and it even connects to the heart chakra. What will happen if you train like Guy or Rock Lee from Naruto anime? Well, it can be both beneficial and devastating for you.
気を失ってさえもまだ自分の人道を証明しようというのか。
We all know what Naruto went through, but Lee is a very underrated character. So today I will mention only his moments. At first he had no mentor, and many children tried to demotivate him from being a shinobi. After meeting Guy Sensei, he got in good hands, but still no one recognized him. Everyone only praised Neji, even his own teammate Ten. He defended someone he didn't even know, and only because he had promised. He defeated Sasuke with pure taijutsu. Sasuke had his own Sharingan, and Lee didn't even sweat much in that fight. Gaara broke his leg, and he was told that he could no longer be a shinobi. But he didn't give up and got back on track, just as a true green beast of Konoha. His motto is the following: to be stronger than yesterday. If I have to, I'll be stronger than half a day ago, even a minute ago. Rock Lee is the epitome of hard work and the genius of perseverance. Why is Rock Lee one of the best characters in Naruto? Throughout this series, the story tells us that hard work always pays off, that even prodigies can be beaten. No one embodies this more than Rock Lee. He can't use ninjutsu or jinjutsu, but he still works hard to become the green beast of Konoha we all know.
咲いた花を見ていた